So I just did a Y cut straight up the back of the skull to here. I'm gonna work my way around the burrs here. This is Reagan's deer she just shot, and we're gonna Euro mount this today. So just trying to work on this as a team and get this thing cleaned up, get it boiling, and then we'll kind of go from there. So stay tuned. Okay, so we did a Y cut straight up the back of the skull here, one angle to each burr. We already cut around the burrs here, and then we're gonna work on the ear butts here, so. All right, Reagan's cutting through the ear butt here. So we're gonna start working on the eye socket here. I am not a taxidermist by any means, but I've talked to a lot of them and I'm friends with a lot of them. And this is the most critical part from what I understand, just to make sure that you aren't cutting any of those real small membranes around the eyes. So try to leave as much hide there as possible for them to work with when they're mounting your deer. And your taxidermist will really, really appreciate that. There's a real fine membrane, especially around the inside corner of the eyeball. Just try to keep that intact with the hide if you can. So whenever you're doing around the mouth and the lips, try to cut as close to the gum line as you can. That way you keep as much hide there as possible. And just peel it back. Bottom jaw, top jaw, same thing. Try to keep as close to that tooth line as you can. That'll give you your taxidermist a whole lot more material to work with there when they're mounting your deer. Just peel it all the way back this way. Same thing with the top jaw too. Just stay along this gum line as close as you can, and just peel it all the way back till you get around the nose bone. We got the bottom jaw done. Once you get up here around the nose line, this bone is going to curve up like that. There's cartilage in here, so you're going to have to cut through the cartilage. But, and you can kind of see it there. So you can cut through the cartilage with your knife and just follow the hard bone up with your knife blade until you get up to where it's real hard, and then you can stop and just work your way back up to the bridge of the nose here. So, all right, we got the nose done, got the mouth done, the cheeks done and everything. Reagan's just kind of working her way back up the face here, back to the eye sockets. Try to keep those membranes in the eye sockets as much as we can. So again, we're gonna Euro this deer, so it doesn't really matter. We're just kind of practicing in case we ever decide we wanna get one shoulder mounted. That way the taxidermist has all the hide intact with as few holes as possible. All right, we're just finishing around the bottom of the jaw here. Reagan's getting this thing finished out. Here, I got that. And then we'll pick up in a minute. We'll get the jaw taken off and then start getting them in the boil. Something I've learned too, the easiest way to take the jaw off, if you take your knife and cut all the way through here, all the way up until your knife stops on both sides inside the jaw, and then on both sides outside the jaw. You'll see this muscle line here. And that'll release all those muscles, connective muscles and tissues there. So it makes it easier just to pry the jaw off once it's cut. So. All right, we already did this one here. Reagan wrapped this one up with this shrink wrap we just get on Amazon, and some electrical tape just to keep the color of the antlers as protected as possible during the boil. So put a little bit of electrical tape around the burr here. Kind of try to keep some of that hot steamy water out of there as much as possible. And any leftover skin or flesh that's underneath the base of the antler or the burr right in here, we can always, underneath here, anything that's not boiled off, we can power wash that off really easy because it'll steam it. just like that. Just like that. I'm about to put that into the water. Got our water kind of simmering. It's taking a little while because it's cold today. But put some Dawn soap in there. That way it'll break down all the oils and help get the meat off there. Come in a little bit closer. And you can see we wrap these up, try to keep them out of the water as much as possible, but I like to have a little bit of the space here right above the skull, maybe like an inch to an inch and a half, 2 inches above the skull, so it's fully submerged, but not totally just dunked in there. So, and we propped it up with this, so we'll let it go for a little bit and just kind of come back in 15, 20 minutes and check it out. Okay, it's been in here a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, just because it's so cold out today. It's been kind of hard getting it up to a full boil, but the skin's starting to come off, so we're gonna try to go ahead and spray this off, see if we can get it cleaned up. Okay, we just popped the ear butts out on both sides right here. And what I like to do is I like to take like a paddle bit like this and drill holes here, in the other ear butt, and then in here, and scramble that braid up a little bit, and we'll blow the braid out. Everything's super cleaned up. This nose bone popped off here. We'll glue that back on a little bit later. We got this water kind of up to a kind of semi-boiling temp. We're gonna put it in there, kind of see how it levels out. Yeah, we're gonna have to add some stuff, but we're gonna add some peroxide mix here in just a second. So be right back with that, and we'll add that and watch it whiten up. All right, so this is the stuff we got at the beauty supply store. 40% by volume. I think they call it developer, but it's basically peroxide. So we're gonna add that to the hot water and soak it up for a little bit and just watch it whiten up from there. And once it's where we want it, we'll take it out. All right, so we got some 40% peroxide mix in this hot water. Brought it up to where it's basically just the pot's kind of different because we don't want the water level to come all the way up here and bleach the antlers. So I'm gonna take this, soak it in the mixture, wrap it around the base of the, underneath the burrs, and that way it'll bleach the top as well. And I really should be using rubber gloves because this will burn your skin, so be careful. But I'm gonna go wash my hands real quick after I do this. So anyway, stay tuned and we'll be back with a white skull in a little bit. All right, Reagan's got her pretty pink gloves on here, but we're gonna try to keep that peroxide mix off of the base of the antlers if we can, just to try to avoid having to touch those up. Kind of wrap it around there really good after we soak that cloth in the solution, and that'll bring that solution up without having to submerge the base of the antlers in there. So anyway, stay tuned and we'll pull it out in just a little bit once we get it kind of where we want it, and go from there. So okay, this has been in the mixture of hot water and peroxide for about 30 minutes, I'd say, something like that. So I'm gonna let Reagan do the honors. She's got the gloves on. So go ahead and uncover that, Reagan, pull it out, make sure it's kind of how you want it. This is her deer, so I wanna make sure she's happy with the results. What do you think?
Looks great.
All right, we're gonna pull that out, rinse it off real good, and we'll take a final look at it in a second. Okay, final step is just to rinse this, let it dry out in the sun for as long as we want, and make sure it's kind of how we want it before we hang it on the wall. So I'm gonna rinse it off real good, get any of that excess peroxide off of there, along with any extra pieces of skin or meat that may be left in there as well. So okay, here's the final product. We got it out of the whitener yesterday, left it out in the sun yesterday afternoon, and then some today as well. So it brightened up quick in that whitener, got it nice and cleaned up. Everything looks really good, I think. And that 40% peroxide mix, I feel like really did a great job on this, better than the 12% we used last time. So anyway, feel free to leave comments. Really appreciate y'all watching. I'd love to know any tips or tricks that y'all are using for your Euro mounts at home. And yeah, thanks for the support. Good luck, y'all.